attack? This is an art attack. This is Art Attack. Welcome to Art Attack, the show that gives your eyeballs a shock. You know, you can have an art attack using the most unusual materials and a little bit of imagination. Come have a look at this. No, I'm not icing a cake. I am, in fact, making my own metal nameplate for my bedroom door. And you know what? There's not a scrap of metal inside. All you need is some thin card, any colour you like, and you draw your design onto the card, and then add your name. Now the idea is that you go over each of the lines on your design with this stuff, wood adhesive. You can get it in most do-it-yourself stores or art shops. You might even have some in school, and just carefully squeeze it out there over all the lines. And when you've done that, just put it to one side to dry. Then you're going to add your metallic finish. Now this is the bit that I really like. You add your metallic finish using these gold and silver pens. I'm going to use a gold one for my namesake. In it goes. You just slosh it on. Just make sure you cover all of it. Doesn't matter if you go over the edges, go over all the glue. The more the merrier. I'm not going to finish that because I'll be here all day. But when you've done it, you just cut it out, and there you have it. Your own metal nameplate for your bedroom door. Then what you do? Well, it's obvious. You bolt it to your bedroom door. Now don't worry, to bolt it onto your bedroom door, all you use are ordinary household drawing pins. Press them in, like that. Quite hard to do. You might need to get someone to help you to do that. Press them in. And then finish it off using the same gold pen, because these gold pens will actually white on anything. Yeah. Bolt in. And there you have it, your own personalised metal nameplate for your bedroom door. You can, of course, design one to suit your name, Holly for Holly, Daisy for Daisy, or just use your initials. And what's this? Boris the Spider. Now I've added a bit of colour onto this artist palette using felt tip pens. Very nice too. What do you think of that then? Nice one. Let me let you into a secret. I have got a big problem. I keep getting the urge to do this. Woo! Now I call it plop art. Not only does it look good, it is brilliant to do. All you need is an egg. Now what I've done here is I've chipped a hole about 2 centimetres across in the top of the egg using the handle of a spoon. You empty the contents out of your egg into a cup, use it for an omelette or something a little later on, and then into the empty eggshell you pour paint. Now you can experiment with the type of paint you use, or you can use ink. This is poster paint I'm using here, just with a little bit of water. In it goes. Nicely mixed up. Now as you can see, plop art can be a little bit messy, so please do it out in the garden, lay loads of newspaper down, put your plopping paper down, and then plops away! Has about 2 colours in one eggshell. Plops away! And when you've tried it once, you can't stop doing it. Plops away! And you know what I've always wanted to do? The ultimate plop. fantastic technique. It's called batik. It's molten wax on material, and the material soaks in all the colour, all the paint and the ink when you put it on, except on the waxy bits, leaving a pattern or a picture. Now there is another way that you can create a wax resist picture using one of these, ordinary household candle. You just draw an invisible picture onto your paper with a candle like that. When you've done it, watercolour paint, nicely mixed in with loads of water, and you can brush it or sponge it right across your paper. And miraculously, there's your picture appearing. A little bit of wax, a little bit of paint, a little bit of a wax attack. Do you know, a lot of famous artists have difficulty drawing hands. Well, I found a good way of doing them. Simply divide them up into sections. Now, what have we got here? Well, the palm of my hand I've drawn like a plate, and hanging off each side of the plate there is 3 sausages for each finger. And for the thumb, we've got 2 sausages there. There it is. Now it's just simply a case of watching what each of those sausages does. Now look at this. Put my hands into that position. What have we got there? Well, we've got the plate. There. We've got 1, 2, 3 sausages there. We've got 1, 2, 3 there. The thumb, we've got 1, 2, lighting up like that. Now if you do this in pencil, you can go over it afterwards with a pen. And then it's just a case of, when you've done it, rubbing the pencil out. There you have it. A hand. Handy thing, sausages. Come and have a look at this. This is something I really enjoy doing. Dropping splodges of wet paint onto wet paper. Look at that. The way the colours all merge together and create a pattern running into each other. Now if you leave that to dry and then do it again on the other side, you get this sort of effect. And this can be used to make some great butterflies. I'll show you how to do it. You need another sheet of paper. You need to fold that sheet of paper in half, and then down the folded edge you need to draw half a butterfly. Not a whole butterfly, just half one. And then you simply cut that out, throw the butterfly bit away. We don't actually need that, because this is the bit I want. I want the butterfly stencil. Now if you actually have trouble drawing a butterfly, let me give you a quick tip. What you need to do is draw an elongated figure 8, and turn it on its side, draw another elongated figure 8 across it, draw a body down the middle, And there you have it, a butterfly. Looks a bit more like a moth really, doesn't it? But when you cut it out, that'll do as a butterfly stencil. Then it's a case of taking your stencil and using it to scan over your splodge picture looking for a good butterfly pattern. Now there's a really good one because it's got a similar pattern on either wing. You just get a pencil, draw through your stencil like that. I'm not going to do all of it because we'll be here all day. And then you cut it out and it gives you one coloured butterfly on both sides. And you just get some cotton, you lay it on the head of the butterfly. I think that's the head end. Put some sellotape across it. Pick it up. And there it is. Oh, well, that's a good butterfly. Now I found it's a good idea to stick some of that see-through sticky back plastic on both sides of your butterfly and then hang it up in your bedroom. Rather good. You know, I like the way they shine. This is a simple frame that I cut out of using a square piece of paper. But why do we use frames? Well, they not only tidy up a picture and make it look good, but they draw our eyes into the picture and focus our attention on the subject. But there are other things that frames can be used for. How's about rescue a picture? Now here's a picture that I've done, and I don't actually like it. Well, I don't like bits of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan it with my frame. There it is. My homemade frame. That's quite nice within there. And that's good as well. So there is a picture within a picture. Now I think I've rescued this picture because what I'll do is I'll cut that out and frame it and throw the rest away. Well, actually, here's another one I completely messed up. I like this one, but I messed it up totally by spilling some red ink on it. So, bring in the good old homemade frame there. Scan the picture, looking all the time for a picture within the picture. In fact, this is a technique that photographers use. And there it is. That looks quite nice there. I'll cut that out and save it. How's about that? 2 pictures rescued. Handy things, frames.
My name is Rebecca, and this is the punk that I made. I made his spiky hair so he looked like that. My name is David, and I made a man, and I gave him a hat because I didn't like him being bald.
Now, that's a good art attack and very easy to make. All you need is 2 sheets of card. It can be any size you like. It can be this size, or it can even be this size. And on one of the sheets of card, you draw the front shape of a face, and on the other sheet of card, the side shape of a face. Then, you cut them out with a trick, and then you cut a slot halfway up one of the heads, and halfway down the other one. And then, the tricky bit. Right, hang on for this. You slot them together. Oh, bit of a headache there. And then you can stick some accessories on. Let's see. Put this on here. There. What do you think? Very cool. And then it's just a case of hanging him up. And here. There we go. Give them a bit of a spin. And there you have it, a slot head art attack. Come and have a look at this brilliant piece of modern art. Look at that, it's colourful, it's exciting, it's the sort of painting I really love, especially when it's done on a t-shirt. Now this sort of crazy clothing design is very easy to do, and it's great for jazzing up some of your old t-shirts. There's loads of fabric paints in the shops now that you can buy, and the great thing is they don't wash out. So just lay your old t-shirt down, preferably on some newspaper because this can be messy, and then just go crazy with art. You just flick and splatter. And then you can do a bit of splodging here and there. You see, it's all in the wrist action, this. Over. Flick around there, I think. Nice bit of a yellow. See what I mean by being a bit messy? It's actually quite a good idea to wear some old clothes. You'll probably find they look a lot better when you finish them. A little red on there, like that. Bright fluorescent pink. And just to finish off, there we go. Some of this plastic finish paint. Just do a little design there. And as all good artists do, I'm going to sign my creation. How's about that? Looks good, doesn't it? Now when you've done your crazy clothes design, get your mates to do some, and you can have your own crazy clothes fashion show. And here we see a lovely matching baseball cap and sunglasses decorated with plastic paint. And down there we have some lovely leopard skin sneakers decorated on white plimsolls using yellow and black acrylic paint. And here we see the latest hand-painted t-shirt. There's literally hundreds of crazy clothing techniques that you can try out for yourself. Here's a list of the ones I've done. Here's a quick drawing of the cup. Now see if you can spot the deliberate mistake. Got the mistake? Actually, there's quite a few in there. What I've done is I've drawn what I think a cup looks like, not what that cup actually looks like to me. And you know, that is a really good tip to remember next time you're drawing. Draw what you can see, not what you think you can see. Take a closer look. So bearing that in mind, let's go for the cup again. So what can I see? Well, the top of the cup has got an oval rim. There it is. Not straight like I drew before. The sides are curving down from where I'm standing on the edge there. The saucer, well, the saucer's got like another oval shape, so there, and another oval shape around there. And what about the handle? You can only see a bit of it sticking out the side there, so I'm only going to draw what we can see. There you go, it's looking better already. Good tip that, when you're drawing, look closely and draw what you can see, not what you think you can see.
I'm Danita. Nina stood in this position so I could make a model of her.
My name's David. This is Daniel. Daniel posed in this position. I drew him, and I made the model.
Neat idea and good art attack. And believe it or not, those sculptures were made out of plaster bandages, the type of stuff that helps mend broken legs. Now, if you want to make one of those sculptures and you haven't got a broken leg, how's about some broken fingers? Now, don't worry, I mean cardboard or hardboard broken fingers. Now, I've cut the shape of my hand out of this hardboard, and I'm literally going to just snap the fingers. Ooh, sounds painful, doesn't it? It helps if you just score the fingers first. So just keep snapping them into the shape that you want. When you pin the fingers back into the shape you require, it's literally just a case of dipping the plaster into the water and wrapping. And it goes. Yeah. And wrapping some more. Right the way around, just keep it tight, keep slushing it into the water, and wrapping some more, and just keep going till you've covered the whole hand there, nice and tight. And then when it's finished, you leave it to dry, and it looks something like this. trouble drawing people? Well, you could always stick to the good old-fashioned stick man. No, that's not very good. If you want to draw something a bit more realistic, that's where this lot comes in. A pound of sausages. Now, don't laugh, it does help. Because if you think of each part of the body as a sausage, then it helps with your drawing. There's a head, there's a body. Now we bring in 2 sausages for each of the legs. 1, 2. 2 sausages there. The other leg. Then the arms. You have 2 sausages. The other arm there. Beginning to look a bit more chunky already, isn't it? If I just move that out of the way, you can see that it really does work when your man starts to move. Okay, let's draw him running. There he is. 2 sausages for the arms again. 2 sausages for each of the legs. Of course, you can put the feet in. Or how's about jumping? 2 sausages for the arms. Back to the body there. 2 for the legs again. Jumping up into the air. And don't forget his feet. There we are. A vast improvement. I think I'll have them for me tea later on.
My name's Danny and I did this.
Crazy idea. Well, we know it works with marbles, but I'm all for experimenting. Now, whatever size marbles or balls that you're using, you need a tray that's big enough to accommodate them, and you need to put a piece of paper in the bottom of the tray that fits perfectly. And then you just load in your paint, splodge it in there nice and thick, lovely stuff. Look at it goes, and another 2 in there. I love doing this sort of thing. Oh. And then it's just a case of rock and roll. There we go. Tray attack. For today's recipe, you place 2 bags of flour into a plastic washing up bowl, then enough water. Let's mix into that and make it nice and squidgy. You get your hands stuck in, press your hands around, get your fingers stuck in, and you make yourself some dough. Pat it out nice and flat, and then you stick your face in it. For 5 seconds. I bet you thought I was going to make bread then. Well, actually, I've made a mould of my face, and into that, I'm going to pour some plaster of Paris. And I've done that. A postcard size piece of card right across the top of the head, just to square it off. And you leave that to dry overnight, and then the next morning it's the good bit. You peel back the pastry, and there you are. Well, actually, in this case, it's me. Now, if you've got a few rough edges around your mask, don't worry about it. You can sandpaper them off, because the next step is to decorate it. And what I've got here is acrylic paint. It has to be acrylic paint. You can get that from most art shops. You might even have some in school. I'm just going to slosh it on there, so you can see what I'm doing. Bright red lips. Yes. Do one eye. Right across the top there. Now, if you do your design on paper first, you can actually come up with some quite good effects. How's about your own theatrical mask? This is me. Or if it all goes terribly wrong, don't worry about it. Keep your mask, because you can make your own Frankenstein mask, Frankie Buchanan. And then when you get really good at it, how's about your own tribal warrior mask, the Buchanan tribe? Or your own Egyptian mummy mask. And yes, here comes the joke. This is my mummy. And then you can make, just to finish it off, your own headdress. How's about that for an art attack? Pastry face. I found a great trick way of drawing trees. Hold a brown felt tip pen right at the end of the pen and draw a Y shape onto your paper. Now you notice that my hand's shaking, the pen's going all over the place. That's because I'm holding it right at the edge there. It doesn't matter because it actually helps with the effect of the tray. Draw a Y shape, like that. And then on this arm of the Y, draw 2 branches, still holding the pen at the top. And then on those 2 branches, draw another 2 branches. And then on those branches, draw another 2 branches. And so on. And just keep drawing 2 branches on the 2 branches that you've just drawn. And when you've finished, it'll look like this. When you've got your branches on, you just fill them in. Just down one side, say the left-hand side of each branch. You don't have to be neat because all this sort of scrappy effect adds to the effect of the bark. And on a few leaves, you don't have to draw each leaf individually. Just bring in a green pen and do a few green ticks on it. There's a tree in spring. If you want a tree in summer, you have to put more leaves on.
My name is Shane, and this is my silhouette. And at the time, my mouth was open when they were drawing it. My name is Gareth, and this is my silhouette, and Ed had drawn it for me. Hello, my name's Billy, and this is my silhouette, and we put white on top of black.
Clever art attack, and very easy to do. All you need is a larger sheet of paper pinned to the wall in a dark room, your own head, that's me, and a lamp or torch to shine onto your head to cast the shadow onto the wall. Then you need someone to draw around the silhouette. Ta-da! But you've got to keep the torch still. And your head. Then you turn the lights on, you cut the silhouette out. What do you think? Looks more like him than me. Have you ever made a picture by actually taking something away? Then just watch this. ever noticed the way sometimes when you look at an object, part of it are in light, where the light shines on it, and part of it are in shadow or darkness, where there's no light shining on it at all? For instance, take a look at my face. Half of it's in darkness, and half of it is in light. Well, you can use this effect to create some great pictures. All you need is a photograph, and the idea is to try and look for those dark patches, or the shadowy patches on the photograph, and the light patches. And to help you do this, bring in a good old sheet of tracing paper. Now you'll find that the light patches show through more easily when the tracing paper is on, as do the dark patches. And what you've got to do then is to go round them, just trace round them, map round them, looking for those patches. There's a light patch there around its teeth. And don't forget also to go round the outline of the head. And you'll find, when you've eventually finished, you'll have something that looks like that. Now the next step is to take a dark crayon or felt tip pen and colour in those dark patches. There's one there, just right behind the eye. Then you take a light crayon or felt tip pen, colour in the light patches, and then all of the rest of the patches are coloured in with a medium crayon or felt tip pen. Now by medium, I mean one that's not dark or one that's not light. And there it is. You have what I call a psychedelic negative. And the great thing is you can use any colour you like, as long as one of them is dark, one of them is light, and one of them is medium. Looks a bit like a pop poster, really, doesn't it? Actually, you could try one of your favourite pop star, or even yourself. Mind you, I have to say, I've never actually seen anyone look like that. Have you?
My name's Mark and I did this.
My name's Ben and I did this. My name's Nicola and I did this.
First of all, we took a picture of me just in black and white, and we turned it into a negative slide. We projected the slide up onto the wall into different sections, and we drew round each different section, either in painting, crayon or pencil, and it turned out like this.
Now then, whenever you go to the beach, do you collect pebbles and shells? Well, the next time you're there, pick up some of these bigger, smooth stones. I'll show you why. Now, I've painted this stone blue all over using acrylic paint, and I've drawn a design on it in pencil. Now, I don't know whether you can see that design. I hope you can't, because I want you to try and guess what it is I'm doing. I'm just going to take some white acrylic paint and just paint along my design. The good thing about this acrylic paint is it goes on almost anything. Actually, you can use poster paint or even felted pen on these pebbles. Now, I'm going to paint in a couple of stripes here. You're bound to guess what this is. One, two, three. Doesn't matter if it's not neat, because you can tidy it up. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. There's one of the design across the top. Like that. And then there are these fiddly lines in there. Let's have a steady hand for this. There it is. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yes, I'm sure you've guessed it. It is, of course, a stone sneaker. Now, when you've done your design, you just put it to one side and leave it to dry, and then paint on some yellow laces. And this is the finishing touch. This is the thing that neatens it up a bit. Just go round the edges with a black felt tip pen, and it just brings out the paint nicely. Of course, fill this bit in. That's where the feet go. And there it is. Very easy to do. Very simple. Looks good. Next time you go to the beach, I'm sure they're bound to have them in your size. Like good modern paperweights. Or even ornaments. Of course, you don't just have to do sneakers. Now, where was the hamburger? Ah, there it is. Mmm. Now, don't forget, you don't have to be a great artist to have an art attack. Just go out and have fun with art. Yeah, these are some of my favourite art materials. Gold and silver pens. See you next time.